Hi, how's everyone doing? I hope you guys are well. I'm not gonna say Happy New Year because it's already like 2-3 months into the new year, but I just hope that you guys are doing well and that the new year for you has started off well and that, the year is actually been kind to you so far. As you know, I'm Mo Malele. I'm so excited for getting started this year and all of the content I'm going to be sharing with you guys throughout the year on Facebook, on LinkedIn and Insta and all the other social media platforms. And also all the connections we'll be making one-on-one through the Coffee with Mo sessions that I've already started organizing for the different groups throughout the year and throughout all the institutions. So I'm really excited for the year and everything that it has in store for us. So I actually want to start off by sharing something with you that has been coming up in some of the sessions, and it's something that's actually very key and topical for everybody, specifically the graduating class, but for every one of you, this is actually a very important topic. And this is the topic of the key skills you need to have by the time you graduate. So today I'll be sharing a list of 10 skills and 10 capabilities that you need to have by the time you leave university to make sure that you are a top candidate, to make sure that you are the most employable and that you can really slot into the working life as best as you can. Like I said, it's relevant for everybody, whether you're in first year or you're in final year. I think you guys will take a lot of learnings from what I'm going to share with you guys today. So here goes 10 skills you should have by the time you graduate from university. Number 1, a driver's license. Now, I know a lot of you are like, no, but I don't have a car and I can't do that. And the money for the lessons and the car and blah, blah, blah. I know getting a license when you don't have a car to train with, when you don't have a lot of money to get the lessons is very difficult. And also time is a big factor right now, for a lot of you students. And also with COVID and the restrictions on travel and moving about, I know it's not easy, but whatever you can do and however you can manage to ensure that you have a license by the time you graduate is a plus on your CV, because what it means is that by the time you get hired, the employer knows that they can then give you, car keys, give you a company car and say, go drive and go to this meeting, or go and do, a field visit over here, or do a store check over there, and so on and so forth, or go pick this up, go deliver this, go, handle this meeting, whatever it is. And I know that right now it might not seem very relevant because a lot of us are at home and we're connecting electronically and so forth. But there are still those cases where you just need to get into a car and drive somewhere to get something done. And in those cases, having a driver's license, your employer then knows that they can rely on you in those situations when technology is not the right way to do things and you need to just be able to travel somewhere and drive there and get it done, in a physical way. So number 1 is a driver's license. Number 2 is internship experience. So wherever you are, whatever your industry is or your career is, if you guys can ensure that by the time you graduate, you've had 2 or 3 proper internships in your belt, under your belt rather, that definitely sets you apart from the rest. And it just gives you that much, of experience and a foot ahead everybody else who's applying. Because what that signals to your employer is that you're ready to work and be integrated into the business or the corporate or the institution that you will be employed in. And that a lot of those entry-level skills that take time for new graduates to learn, you already have those. Things like writing and drafting proper emails, presentation skills, putting together proper, executive documents and so forth. Then they can trust that you already have some of these skills because you have had, internship experience. Number 3 is a formatted CV. And by formatted, I mean a CV that's plugged, edited, been proofread and reread, and it's just ready to go. So, and I mean, in order for you to get a job anywhere, you need a CV anyways. So just a proper edited and formatted CV is very important. One that's ready to go and constantly updated, that just sits, on your laptop. It sits on your cloud based storage system, and that's ready to go when somebody needs your CV to hire you for something or to recommend you for something. And I'm happy, I know that this has been a question for some of the groups. I'm happy to do sessions where we just do CV formulation and editing. We talk about interview skills, and we talk about writing motivation letters and cover letters. I know that for some of the groups that I've been working with, this is a thing that has come up. And so if you're in an institution where you want help with this, please just reach out and I can organize a session with you guys to chat you through that. Number 4 is a passport, a valid South African passport, or a valid passport. If you're not, South African, you don't have a South African one, but just a valid passport really helps when you start going into the job market, and you're looking for international opportunities. Then you know that if you have a valid passport, the first opportunity that comes your way that is international, you can take just like that. There's none of this, oh wait, I still have to apply, home affairs, or COVID restrictions, or it's going to take longer to get this and that and all of that stuff. So if you can start doing all these things, in preparation to that big moment, by the time you get to the big moment, it's less stressful because then you're just plugging and playing all these things that I'm talking about. So for me, I got my passport when I got my ID when I was 16. And I know that this is something that a lot of other people didn't do or don't do. So I realized that this was actually an unpopular practice. But I advise you that, if you don't have a passport right now and you have an ID, go and make the time to apply for a passport. It's not that expensive. It's a couple of R100. It takes, a couple of, like a month or two for it to clear through the system. Maybe with COVID, it might take 2 or 3 months for it to clear through the system. But then once you have it, your passport is valid for 10 years. So you only have to renew it every 10 years. So please, make some time to get that because it opens you up to international opportunities when they come up. And I believe that a lot of you guys, have the potential to go international. Number 5 is communication skills. I just finished a session right now with TUT, Tshwane University of Technology. And I was just doing a session. We did like a whole hour session on professional communication and what it takes to be a good communicator. So another thing that I would really implore you guys to do is ensure that you really hone in on your communication skills, and you become an effective communicator because, great leaders are great communicators. People who excel in their industries and excel in their careers and, are able to grow their careers are great communicators. So communication is a very important part of being a successful leader, a successful individual in your career and in your, your sort of sphere of choice. Whatever you do in life, you're going to need to communicate that to other people. So it's important to become a really good communicator. And if this is something that some of you are struggling with, please feel free to hit me up. I've actually got a deck that I worked through with, and I've done this with several institutions here in the ISFAP group. So let me know if there's something that you want me to do with your group at your institution. Number 6 is the it factor. This is your je ne sais quoi. This is the thing that sets you apart from everybody else, especially the thing that when the recruiters and the employers go back to their round tables and they're looking through all the candidates and they're discussing, it's that thing that they say about you that everybody in the room will remember. It's like it factor. Like, oh yeah, that one, like that kid who was really passionate about sport, or that kid who was so knowledgeable, about the stock market. Like, it's that it factor. Whether it's your confidence or it's your knowledge in a particular topic, or it's your passion on something, or it's your energy that you just brought an energy, or it's your smile. Just the way you smile can be your it factor that people remember you by, But always make sure that you have an it factor, that thing that distinguishes you from everybody else in the room and in the application process. Number 7 is teachability and learnability. These are 2 separate things, but 2 very things that are very linked and very important. And so teachability, I describe that as the ability to be taught, or for someone to teach you something. So if you don't know something, I can teach it to you. And so you must be a teachable human being, because when you get into the work market and you're in, a corporate or whatever, you might have a manager, or you might have a coach or a mentor whose job it is to ensure that you sort of, mentor you and coach you into the institution. So you must be teachable. The second part is to be learnable, so learnability, which is the most important part in any successful career. And that is basically the ability to learn something that you did not know beforehand and to learn it on your own. So that's why I call it learnability, because it means when you get into a job and there's something that you don't know how to do, what you then do is learn how to do it on your own, in your own time, with your own resources. And then you come back into the workplace and then you can do it. Number 8 is the ability to lead and be led. Hashtag teamwork. It's very important to know when it's your time to lead and lead from the front, and when it's time to lead from the back, and when it's time to just be led by somebody else and be part of the team and just like take your spot in a team without leading that particular team or leading that particular situation. So an ability to know when it's your time or when you should lead and when you should be led is very important. And it's something that I cannot sort of tell you when is what or how it works. What I can tell you is that it's something that you need to feel through the room, feel through the processes, and the more you do it, the better you become at it. Leadership is a muscle, it's a skill, and so you need to know. All good leaders know when it's their turn to sit down and let somebody else carry the baton and move it forward. And that's something all good leaders know. All good companies that have good CEOs know when it's their turn to sit down and let somebody else, take us forward. Number 9 is critical thinking. Remember, the battlefield is in the mind. This is where the battlefield happens. So critical thinking, being able to sift through what people are saying, what they're doing, data, analytics, just being able to, really get to the bottom of stuff from a critical perspective and understand things on a foundational and fundamental level is what I normally call critical thinking. It's really just about being able to sift through the noise and get to the crux. So there's a lot of chaos in the world right now. There's a lot of noise in the world right now. And the best leaders, the best performers are people who can see through the fog, hear through the noise, and act through the chaos. And that is critical thinking. And the last one, number 10, is the ability to turn data into information that is then turned into insights that we can make decisions on. So that's number 10. That's the last one. And basically, I'll say that again. It's the ability to turn data into information that we can use to gain insights, and insights we can use to make accurate decisions. And COVID-19 is a perfect example of this. You guys will have seen with everything going on right now in the world and in the country with COVID-19 and the vaccines and the lockdowns and, the hospitals and alcohol and substance, stuff that is then impacting the hospitality all around the hospital sector, a number of beds available. There's so much data that our leaders have had to, be aware of, just raw data that they have to take in and take in and take in. Then turn that data into information that they can draw insights from. And then from those insights, they must then make accurate decisions that are responsible and move the country forward. And that's basically it. That's the best example I can give you. And good performers, high performers, high achievers, good leaders, people who, excel in their careers, are able to take raw data and turn that into something and into insights and information that they then make accurate decisions from. And then those decisions are the most important part, because it's those decisions that people then act on, people then lead upon, and so on and so forth. So those are the 10 skills that I highly recommend everybody has before they leave university, whether you're in first year and you're just starting out, or you're in final year and you're about to get out of the university space and going to corporate and going to the working world. It's never too early and it's never too late to get all of these skills, because they set you apart from the rest of the pack. I hope that this has been very interesting and that you've learned something from it. Please like, share, drop your comments below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys think. And if you have any more skills that you think we should all be learning and having by the time we leave university, shap shap.